to speed things up just a bit.
What better place to start the evening at Lake of the Ozarks than on the lake? And a form of lake entertainment unique to this area is the Lake of the Ozarks Water Ski Show, offering a little bit of everything for the entire family, with a show put together by the same folks that do Florida's Cypress Garden shows.
We try to keep a certain rhythm to the show, meaning we want to keep things kind of coming and going from left to right. We try to blend high speed, high performance, exciting things with some more of the beautiful things on the water. And then in between that, we throw in comedy.
If rock and roll or romance is your thing, try one of the several excursion boats on the lake. Most offer early evening dining cruises with a laid-back atmosphere, then a late-night dance cruise. Either one could offer the perfect chance to meet the guy or gal of your dreams.
We've had our share of marriages on the boat, and it's generally somebody that's met on the boat at one time or another. And they haven't met on the daytime sightseeing cruises. They've generally met on the dance cruise at night that you've seen just gone out. So, yeah, we've had over the, probably the last dozen years, we've had probably 15, 20 marriages on the boat.
For you land lovers, there's still plenty to do. There are 4 music shows from country to Elvis Presley tributes to Opry, Ozark style. And then there are the strips, both at Osage Beach and Lake Ozark. Miles of every ride imaginable. Only through the magic of television can you do them all this fast.
Now, Hickman, he knows how to have a good time.
Yes, he does.
Well, Tom Dye in the forecast, and the thing people here call the best thing this side of heaven.
Both are just as ahead as KY3 continues to celebrate the Ozarks at Ha Ha Tonka.
From the bluff at Ha Ha Tonka, we look down to the Lake of the Ozarks, where houseboats abound, and we'll join Admiral Ned Reynolds later on board. Nice night for a cruise.
Oh, yeah, it should be a real nice night. Stars out, and I think a sliver of a moon in just a couple of minutes. Behind us is the Ha Ha Tonka, the remains of. Of course, it burned back in 1942, I believe. And Tom Dye is near or on the one side of the remains, and he will have a weather forecast, and I think a guest at the end of it. Tom?
Tony, you were speaking of the stars. The moon hasn't taken the light away so that we can see the stars. I was out from under the television lights just a moment ago down the path and looking at the stars, locating the Big Dipper, and you can see Polaris. Sometimes you can't see it in the city at all. You can see the Milky Way here. It's just absolutely beautiful. I don't have the sound effect that I'd like to have for you. A little bit earlier, the whippoorwill was really chiming in with everything that we need, but we have the katydids going now. I think that sets the stage for Sheriff Larry Whitten, because 15 years ago he picked out this spot. Been sheriff for a long time, but I don't think he's been a native since about 15 years ago. Why, out of all the places across the country, would you pick this place, Sheriff?
I think it probably offered more to what I was looking for, and a lot of it was a lesson in nature, hiking, hunting, fishing, water skiing, photography. It just has an awful lot to offer.
Those are all the things that I like. Let's take a look here at the weather for just a little bit, and I think maybe you can get us some good...
Okay, thank you, Tom. You know, Lake of the Ozarks is not just a tourist area. It also is the most rapid growing area of Missouri in terms of population.
And many of the people who visit here as tourists decide to come back later and settle down. One of the main attractions is that this is a private lake. One of the few places in the nation where people can actually own property right up to the edge of the water. And we want you to meet one of the area lakeside families, Bill and Gloria, that's Craig and Gloria Bennett, a Kansas City couple. They came here on weekends, but finally decided that the Lake of the Ozarks should be their permanent address.
I saw on Golden Pond and decided I wanted a cabin on the lake. You know, we got a little out of hand.
It grew, you know, add water to the sponge.
When we were weekenders, the minute we put our key in the door, we were relaxed.
It's a different world. When it comes to a time in your life where you want to relax and enjoy those things, why, this is probably the most perfect place I think you could be.
This has got to be heaven. We always said that we'd like to live the second half of our life different than the first, and we always wanted to be on the water, and we did it. I didn't know it would be the Lake of the Ozarks, but what better place is there?
Well, Ned is next with sports from Lake of the Ozarks in his 52-foot yacht. We're looking at Yacht 3, companion to Sky 3, we wish. Ned is on board the 52-footer, ready to show you all the comforts of home without leaving the lake. Ned?
Attention, this is the captain speaking. Bosun, secure that line. Swabby, swab that deck. I feel a little bit like Aristotle Onassis. I want you to know this is something else, but the real captain is Captain Cal Hansen, and the Britannia has nothing on this baby. Captain Cal, thanks for having us on board tonight. This is just beautiful.
Good to have you, Ned.
How old is this ship?
This boat was built in 1981, Ned, just 25 miles south of here at Richland, Missouri.
And of course, you take passengers out on this. How expensive is it for them?
Ned, it's only $67 an hour, and for 30 people, that's a little over $2 an hour.
Well, that's practically for free. You have a philosophy about folks being out on the ocean and the sea.
Well, I just think the human animal was meant to spend some time on the water, and if he can get a private island all his own with no phones, it's like taking a metal bath.
It washes the mind.
It washes the mind, and when he's ready to go back, he's ready to take on the world again.
And just a few weeks ago, Captain Cal took some members of the Action News team out on this ship, and they ran into some other members who were taking their first trip on a houseboat.
This is our first time out. We just decided to get together with some couples that we enjoy being with. This is our first trip, but I certainly don't think it'll be our last trip. There's already rumors that we're going to start this to be an annual deal once a year, every year.
This is a great way to get away from everything and everybody.
We brought a ski boat and a fishing boat and a sailboat with us. We wanted to be sure we were going to have a good time. It's just great. I was surprised at how convenient it is. I expected a little more inconvenience. But even the 8 of us, we took our turns with everything, and it worked out fine.
In one step, they leave the normal world and get into a water wonderland. It changes, it cleans the cobwebs out, it's a complete change of pace for them, and they go back as if they had just taken an interior bath. Most of the enjoyable coves and sights are from the water looking back toward the land. We can look at houses that cost $500,000. We can look at cabins, and we can go into the state park where there's miles and miles of nothing at all, nothing.
I prefer the houseboat because it's so convenient. You're right on the water. If you want to go swimming, you just take a dive and you're right off. And it's much nicer to drag everything back and forth, and I just like it much better.
We're up in the helm area, quite obviously. Captain Cal, we're operating very smoothly, but what's this crew right here?
Ned, I never saw them before. They must be members of your crew.
Well, it does look suspiciously like Fred Miller and Leanne Gregg, and that's what I thought. Man the life jackets, abandon ship! And hello, everybody, from out on the Niagara arm of Lake of the Ozarks.
Welcome back. We're live via satellite from Haha-Tonka on day 8 of KY3's Celebrate the Ozarks. One thing unique about this area is that we are in the center of what is considered to be cave country in Missouri.
There are several caves in this area. One you bachelors might not want to visit is Bridal Cave. You can tour the cave without getting married, but since 1948, when the cave opened to the public, it's been the site for more than 100 wedding ceremonies. Here's Bridal Cave and its history.
The cave was discovered many years before the white man came by Indians. The Osage lived here long before the white man, of course. They were using the cave for weddings, and we've been doing it ever since ourselves.
I always wanted something easy. We didn't want to go to a church, have no big wedding. Probably because she wouldn't go to the courthouse.
No, we came down here about 2 years ago and seen it and decided that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do something different.
You have made a very important decision, one of the most important that you will make during your lifetime.
We find most of them are second marriages, couples that have been divorced, both of them or one of the couple had been previously married. Now, our minister tells us that this is something, according to statistics, which seem to indicate that the second marriage lasts longer than the first in many cases.
Will you do all within your power to make this relationship a growing, healthy, and productive one? If so, declare this intention before God and your witnesses by saying, I will.
I will.
And Carla?
We decided we wanted to go off and do it relaxing. The tension and all the readiness for a larger wedding, we decided we wanted to get away from it all.
Mr. and Mrs. James Jeffrey Harton. Give me this.
Well, Joe Hickman, who did that story, for you women who are wondering, is still single. Well, tomorrow Action News heads on down the road to Rolla at 6 p.m., where the University of Missouri and the town work hand in hand together toward continued progress. It's also where the first nuclear reactor in Missouri is located.
And then at 10, we'll move west on I-44 to Fort Leonard Wood, where we'll show you some of the sites on the fort where anyone can visit, such as watching practice bombing runs by military jets. And also we'll visit a World War II museum. That's at Fort Wood at 10.
Went up to 110 degrees here today. That's what they tell us, but it's cooled down considerably tonight. The tree frogs and the crickets seem to be very happy about it.
Oh, the night sounds have made this place something special, and hopefully for a few magical moments we have enjoyed what is Ha Ha Tonka. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow in Rolla and Fort Wood.